Dave Rittenhouse. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Dave Rittenhouse. I'm a resident of Roswell. Most of the people speaking so far have been speaking about the Department of Community Supervision. However, I wanted to speak about the Office of Transition Support and Reentry from a historical perspective. I've studied World War II and its antecedent World War I and the effect that the federalization of the police force had in Germany. And the governor's office of the problem that I have and others in the room is that the federalization of local law enforcement through the governor's office of transition support and reentry. This is the concern. This agency was established by executive order in 2013 and has already received substantial federal grants under the names of things like Smart Supervision and Justice Information Sharing Solutions. And for example, an article can be found on the Georgia.gov press release website from October 1st of 2014, which documents a $6.75 million grant from the federal government. Due to my historical or history background, I immediately picked up on the statements that Barack Obama made in 2007, where he stated that he could envision a time when the police force would be as well equipped as the military. I'm sure we all remember this. We're hearing now a narrative that is extremely disturbing because we're being told that the events like those that occurred in Ferguson were the result of individual racist white police officers who are acting in a rogue or on their own basis. And we're being told that the solution to this problem is a complete federalization of the police force. And we are seeing that currently and with regulations that are coming down from the federal government. This is well documented. I personally have a concern that this bill provides the mechanism for moving this objective forward, and this is why I believe Senator Williams, it might have been you who asked the question of why is there so much angst in the room. This is the reason why. It's my reason why. And just to give a little background of myself, on 2 Saturdays ago, on the 14th, I ran for chairman of the Fulton County Republican Party. And I ran on the platform of small and limited government, personal freedom, liberty, responsibility, and lower taxes. And it's those principles that I find are really violated by the expansion that this bill constitutes, and particularly this federalization of the police force.
You're at 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Rittenhouse, is that correct? Did I say that?
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse, okay. I apologize.
That's okay.
Again, I'm a South Georgia country boy and not an English major. Senator Albers, I believe, has a question. Senator Albers.
In all transparency, Dave is both a constituent and a friend. So, and I think we agree on 99% of issues. One thing, Dave, that I would tell you where I think differently on is the federalization of the police force. So, obviously, this is not federal. This is the state of Georgia, right? So that in itself is different. But the Roswell Police Department or the Fulton County Police Department do not roll up to the governor, right? They roll up respectively to the mayor and council of the city of Roswell or the commissioners for Fulton County. I don't believe any which way, shape that this bill is going to change how they report and do it. Now, you brought up some very powerful points of some things that concern you, and I think that those need further vetting and discussing, but I don't think to say a federalization of the police force here is factually accurate in what they're trying to do. I think that one of the things we have to be careful of is conspiracy become very easy to fall into. And in this case, I think if you look at what's been done over the last 4 years, for the first time in Georgia's history in many, many years, the prison population has actually gone down.
That's correct.
right? And the reason for that is there's a great emphasis placed in the fact of how do we keep somebody who's nonviolent, right, out of jail and use other techniques? How do we take someone and put them in accountability for it who has that drug problem, who's a returning veteran of PTSD, whatever it happens to be? And I'm a big fan of that because I believe the best way that we can help people is truly to get them help. And I think that that has worked, and I think that sometimes we naturally, all people do, you do, I do, we can jump to the conspiracy side of that and say, gosh, this is all about government control. In this case, I think it's how do we continue to help people? That's what this is really about. And how do we keep them out of prison? How do we keep them from having that recidivism go around in a circle? And I think that immediately everybody flipping through the book and saying to the end page, saying this must be some reason that somebody wants to lord over and take over authority and take over everybody's police and lives, I think is a little bit out of context just between you and me, right? I think we have to balance this. And I think that there are pure intentions here that are being missed.
Could I make a comment? There's a possibility that we may be, let's say, both correct or have both good perspectives. One of the things that I do see, and I think we all would agree on, is the massive amount of military equipment that has gone to police forces. Something in the range of $4 billion. I know we're all aware of this, so I don't see any shaking heads.
So Dave, I agree that's something we should explore. I'm not sure that this bill has anything to do with how our police forces are or not being armed.
And it is equally possible, as you said, that there is not a direct connection there. So that's why I said it's possible that we both share common areas of agreement, and that connection may not be completely there.
I'll still buy a cup of coffee, my friend.
Senator Dugan.
Thank you. And mine's going to be short because Senator Albers touched on most of mine. You know, everybody always talks about federalization of the police, you know, and they bring in the analogy of the German police prior to World War II. Never brings up the Mounties, because the Mounties are Cindy's good guy, and I'm not advocating that. But the you know, they say you don't want a state police. We got a state police force. They're the guys that you see in the Chargers going up and down the road. So we're not creating a statewide police force. We're streamlining agencies that already report to the governor under legislative overview into another organization. That's all this is. And we got a whole another hour-long discussion about militarization of local police. And we would see that, like I said, you and I would see stuff closer together on that one, except for the Humvees during snowstorms. I'm kind of okay with that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. One last speaker, Sarah Garrity.